Hello, here, ready for our next instalment of Build a Website from Scratch. Today we're going to have a look at layouts. I'm trying to get a layout happening for this particular project. Before we do that, I thought just might go to our Gulp file, and you'll see here I've put in a couple of extra lines in the Gulp watch function, because originally we just had watch the paths and then it would run the style. Now we've got we're watching the images path, and it's going to be running the images script, and also for scripts. So when we make any changes to JavaScript, it'll run all those things. So I'll just open up Gulp Watch and just let it run in the background. So I've opened our Docker containers, and this is what we have, and this is where we want to be. Let's have a look at our assets, our themes, Acme, layout, default.htm, and this is our default layout. Right. Let's just do a comparison to what we're trying to build. We'll just start at the top and work our way down. Okay, so we've got the logo here, navigation here, and it's all part of the one thing. So does our code reflect that? No, it does not. I don't think. Let's have a look. So we've got site header, layout header here. I'm just going to add a class of header in there, and let's have a look at our site header partials. So in our partials folder, header, what have we got there? We've got our layout here. Class nav bar, yep, that looks good. We need a logo in there. I'll just write the word logo in there, and let's just have a look and see what we've got. Back to our site, do a refresh. There we go, we've got logo, and we've got our. So we need to do a little bit more work on this, don't we? Right, back in our we'll just add a container. And we'll grab that end of, pull that down there because that's going, and let's make that format a bit better. Yep. That's not too bad. Let's see what we got. Yep, logo. We just need to spread this out as the next step. So back into code, and in our SAS, have a component. I think we've already got a header in the layout section from, yep, we do. Okay, so we'll do our work there. So header in there, and it's going to be the container inside that. Display flex. Justify content. And we'll do space between, so fits the logo on the left and the menu sort of up against the right. Now let's see if that's done what it's supposed to do. We'll just check that out. Have a look at my no change. Staring at me right in the face. Okay, who spotted it? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll move the logo out to here. So we've got our div logo, which also means we need to move our container out as well. Alright, that should give us something a bit more meaningful, except we need to, we've got to get rid of this closing tag here, and yep, that all matches up. So now we've got our container inside the header, logo, and we've got our nav. With a bit of luck, still no change. Alright, let's have a look at our inspector here. So we've got class of header, inside header, got our container, we've got our logo, and we have our nav. Turns out the issue was a cached version of the website sitting within Firefox. This is what we're supposed to be looking for. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. Okay, I'll replace the logo with the proper one. I'll grab our logo and drop that into the appropriate folder, which is resources, resources, images. I'll land in the right place. There we go. It's there. And I'll just format that so it looks a bit more readable. Because what I'm probably going to do is change this colour. And let's have a look and see. Oh yes, we've even got a minified version of it sitting in our actual assets folder. Excellent. Now let's bring that into our header. So go to our header file, and where it says logo, we need to replace it. Now there's a couple of ways we can do this. I can use an image and just pull in the SVG logo, or we can include it directly. Now the lazy way of doing that would be just grab the file and insert it into here, but there's actually a nicer way of doing this. Now there's quite a handy little site called octobertricks.com, and as the name implies, has all sorts of nice little things you can use to implement, make October and winter sort of work reasonably well. And this is one where you can actually include SVGs inline into your themes. Now, something probably should exercise caution with, because injecting markup into a theme has all sorts of security issues. You want to make sure what you're injecting into your site's good code, not bad code. Now we can do it quite simply by grabbing this snippet of code here. So we'll just create a partial called include svg.htm. So we'll go over here, create a new file, include svg.htm, and here it is. Paste that in there. And now, in our header, we can put that in there. The theme is Acme, assets, images, and it should be logo. And let's see if this has worked. Exception. Oh, include partial SVG is not found. Of course, its sites include. Just changed it to sites. Still got an exception. Okay, site singular. Now, there we go. It's a bit big, but we can fix that. I don't think the size is defined in the SVG. So let's just go and have a look at and see what we've got. So logo SVG. Yep. Okay. Height was 60 and width equals 120. I don't think we need units. I think it automatically assumes pixels. Let's just jump back over and see if. There we go. Okay, let's deal with our menu. We'll just have a look at it in the inspector. Right, we have just a basic UL here. Okay, we probably might actually add some classes into that menu. Okay, so we'll go into the winter dashboard, and in the CMS part of it, we're in layouts, default layout. Actually, we're in partials, site, and header. Here's our component. I don't know if you can see down here, there's a little fork thing in here. It's something that's quite powerful that Winter and October have. We can actually fork this particular component. So if we press that, see how it's just sort of moved it out. And now we've got a class equals navbar, and we'll save that. So it's just expanded that out a little bit. I'll just tidy that up a little bit. Nice, and that shouldn't make any difference to how our menu looks. We just go back here and onto our home page and refresh. Yep, no change. Excellent. Right, let's just duck into here, and I'll just give this UL class. Let's call it nav menu. Moving into our SAS components, we can create a component and call that nav menu. CSS nav menu, and list style of none, and the list items inside that. The time being, we'll just display them as inline block. I'm probably going to come back and change that. At some stage, but this will do for now. Now that's not going to make any changes because we need to go to our styles, and in our components import. Oh, that's pretty shocking typing. There we go. Let's see if this has made some changes. There we go. We've got them just sitting there at the moment. We'll make them look a lot nicer. I'll deal with navigation in a future episode. Time for some colour, I think. In a previous video we selected a colour scheme from a website called coolers.com. Sorry. I'll stick a link for the actual colours here. So these are the colours that we have. So that's what we're going to put into our project. Back in VS Code, what we'll do is grab those colours. Okay, we're in our resources SAS folder, into abstracts, and we've got a file called variables. I'm going to create a new file called colors just to sort of keep things nice and separate. Colors. There we go. So that's there. Yep, that exists. And let's just get rid of all this other stuff that we're not using at the moment. So we've got colours with absolutely nothing in it. We'll grab these ones out, just extract them, like them in there, and we also need to let style know that colours actually exists in our variables. Silly typo mistake. In our variables, just go down here and let's abstract. And underline says there's something there, which is good. All going well. So let's bring in our colours, and we use some CSS variables. And let's grab those colours. Back in our coolers site, we have to grab, we've got a nice little export tab here, so we'll export the CSS, and we'll grab these variables here, put them in the clipboard, and let's head over to our, like them in there. Right, I'm going to just add another couple, so I'm going to add color, text, and just make that background color as well. And I'll give that a color of we'll just do a very light grey, sort of off white type thing. I might grab a better shade later on we get to refine the design. And let's just make these look a little nicer. Excellent. Now I might just move these, swap these around. Get rid of that. Like that down there. May need to keep the order and everything all sorted. Text color. Won't need that. That's going to be text. Brand color. Make that the shiny shamrock. Love autocomplete. I'll just leave these greys at the moment. Just refresh the page and you'll notice our colours have changed. We've got our shiny shamrock links here. I'll change those because they're not going to work with our colour scheme. And we've got a link here for down here. And so far so good. Let's colour the top. So in our VS Code, looking here, we need to go down to our layout and header CSS, and the header needs a background colour. And that's going to be the Glaucus. And text color. We need a var white, don't we? Save that and go back to our colours. I'll just put a white in here. I'll make that. Back here, yep, background colour works. the links certainly don't, so I'll fix them up next and then I'll work on the SVG. Back with our SAS styles, let's add a link there. So A goes under the header and we're going to make that colour bar white, isn't it? Yep. Seems to have done the trick. Yep. Alright, nice one. Next up is our SVG file for our logo. We're still in move to images, logo. Okay, this is what we have. Let's see. Not sure if this will work. Back to our browser. There you go, it did. No, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, we'll colour our footer and take it from there. Okay, so back to our SAS layout and footer. Got nothing in the footer at the moment. Footer. Background colour was what was it? I think the eerie black was the one we're after. Right, back to here and refresh. Yes. Okay, let's do a little tidy up of the footer. We'll give it a little padding above and below. So padding. Top. And I'll make that roughly 4 lines worth. And do the same for the bottom. Other thing we need to do is just tidy our links. Our links are still green, and make them, give them the white colour. That looks a little better. We'll fix up the content at a later video. They would have got, you know, sort of achieved a base layout with a base colour scheme. Probably the next thing to work on are these links, make them more mobile friendly, because if we squash that up, I'm sure it's just going to not work. Really, that, no. So that definitely needs to be fixed. We'll add some kind of sliding menu into that, and also the logo here doesn't go back to the home page, which is something that most users would expect. Well, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen, found it useful. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, all that stuff. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.